Hey everybody, it's Andy Cumbo Floyd. Uh, we are here on a really gray Wednesday afternoon on the farm, but it's beautiful. It's nice to have rain. So, and I see James is here. That's exciting. Hi, James. So I wanted to follow up on a blog post I put up this morning on my blog, andylit.com. About comparison, and I was just talking there because actually James and I have had some conversations about this, and some other folks too, about sort of the way as writers we sometimes tend to compare ourselves to other people. And we look at things like how many subscribers somebody has to their newsletter list, or where they are in the Amazon rankings, or maybe how many sales they get, how many followers on Facebook. I mean, there's like so many metrics out there for things now where we can compare ourselves to other people. And, I guess on some level it's fine to look at those numbers. I don't know. I need them for my business, so I look at them. But it doesn't really help me to know what anybody else is doing if it's going to make me say, oh, I don't have as many followers as him, or oh, she has a lot more subscribers as I do, because there's nothing I can do about that. For one thing, like I can work harder. But that doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to get more followers or subscribers or any of that stuff. What it does guarantee, though, is that I'm going to be discontent with what I'm doing. And discontent is kind of a dangerous thing for a writer, because the only thing that we have any power and control over is our own writing, and that it is good and it is as strong and it is as honest as we can make it. That's really just about I'm not even going to say just about, that really is the only thing we can control. Like, for example, today, my blog is having some security weirdo issue that I can't fix myself, and my web designer lives in Thailand. So I expect right now he is sleeping. So I have to wait until he gets back online to get that fixed. And that's okay, because I just have to trust that it's going to be all right. What I can do if I'm not careful, and I think every writer I know does this, is I can start evaluating how my numbers look as a way of saying how valuable I am as a writer. I can start thinking that if I am not getting this many subscribers, then my writing isn't very good. There's no correlation between those things. It may be that my writing isn't awesome. That's definitely possible and definitely true sometimes. But it may just also be that, I don't know, I don't have the right marketing system in place, or people are busy and so they aren't following my blog in the same way. Thanks, James. I appreciate the vote of confidence. But there's nothing I can do about that. Like, at least not in the moment. Like, there's no way I can really control that. Like, I can look at my marketing things and I can look, consider some new options for stuff. But I can't in that moment make anybody join my subscriber list. I can't make anybody like me on Facebook. The only thing I can do is write more. And I can write better. And I can try harder. And that's not to say that we shouldn't be looking at marketing and we shouldn't be smart business people, because writing is a business. But it's to say we cannot place our self-worth as writers in those numbers. We really can't place our self-worth in anything but the fact that we are loved people. That really is the only place that has any value for our self-worth. And sometimes that's really hard, because sometimes we haven't been treated very much like we've been loved. So I just want to encourage you guys today to really think about putting your investment in your writing, in making it as good as it can be, in being as true to yourself about what you're writing the things that you're passionate about, writing the things that make you excited, writing the things that you think will be helpful to other people. That's really a good thing. I often ask people what what are they struggling with, or what do they have questions about for writing, and I'll write to those things. You can James was asking what's, the practice here, what's the practical stuff. I mean, I try to separate the business part of my writing from my creative part. So if I'm not getting the readers I want, I don't see that in any way as a reflection of who I am as a writer, or even how good my writing is. I see that as a reflection of maybe I haven't invested enough in my marketing. And that may mean a financial investment. Sometimes it does. It may mean a time investment. I listen to a lot of business podcasts because they're free, and that's really good. But they give me some good tips that I can try out. If you're interested in those, I'm really enjoying Sean Wes, SeanWes.com. Great podcast there. If you have no budget, you got to figure something out there. I barter a lot. I don't have a lot of budget either, but I figure it out because it does take some money. I listen to Sean Wes as a podcast. I also listen to The Introvert Entrepreneur because I'm pretty introverted, and that's got some good tips there. I listen to Joanna Penn if you're interested in independent publishing. She's great. I also listen to the Self-Publishing Podcast, which is really fun. I listen to the Self-Publishing Formula. I listen to a lot of podcasts. They're free. They don't cost you anything. They can give you some tips, some things you can do. Today, I just listened to Joanna Penn's podcast from a couple weeks ago. It's The Creative Pen.com. And she is talking about YouTube, which is a totally free medium to put up videos. Really great. And it's not unfair, James. It's the reality of living in a capitalistic world. We live in a capitalistic society, and that is just the reality of living in it. It's about a function of privilege, and we all make do. We do the best we can. We switch priorities. I do 100 things to make extra income to be able to pay for my marketing. I work really, really hard. That's just how it works. That's what it is. So, but those podcasts can give you some really good tips on how to market in inexpensive ways, which is really nice, and some ways that are more expensive. But so all that's to say that the comparison game of saying I'm not as good a writer, it's dangerous. It can really shut you down as a writer. It can make you really self-absorbed, which means your writing isn't going to be as good. So I just encourage you guys to separate the number part of the business part of writing from the creative part. Find the value in the creative part of what you're doing. Put your heart and soul into that. And then take the business mindset and apply it elsewhere. Apply it to the parts of, building the marketing business. But don't let that marketing part influence your art. Your art is its own thing, and it's valuable for that reason. So I hope that's helpful in some way to you guys. Again, I wrote a blog post about this today. It's at andylit.com. And if these security issues with my blog get worked out, you'll be able to get on there. You might be able to get on there now. Seems to be sort of an intermittent problem. But if you have things that you'd like for me to do little videos on, please let me know. I'd be happy to. And I hope that you guys have a good rest of your day. If you're in the UK like James is, have a good night's rest. If you're on the East Coast like I am, I hope you guys have a good evening. Take care. Bye-bye.